Hey, welcome back, y'all. So, if it isn't a typhoon, it's an earthquake, right? Yeah, unfortunately, Tuesday night on the 30th, our time, around 10 p.m., massive earthquake hit just off of Cebu Island. Uh, Cebu Island is in the center of Visayas. It's well, Cebu City is, I think, the second largest city in the Philippines. Yeah, it's a pretty good place. The whole island is called Cebu. So at the northern tip of Cebu Island, um, they had that, and man, I'll tell you, damage and fatalities reports are still coming in. This is Thursday, and I was waiting to just to see what the extent was, and it was pretty massive. Uh, a lot of people perished. I think 69 or 70 at last count. They're still digging through rubble. They know they've got more people that are trapped. I don't know how many hundreds of injuries. All the hospitals in the area were overwhelmed. They were shipping people to Cebu City. They were shipping them all over Visayas to take care of them. So let me show you where it hit, and uh, it was felt all through the whole center part of the Philippines. I had reports from Legazpi, which is in Bicol, which is the arm that comes down out of Luzon, and all of the Visayas Islands. I've got people that I know on almost all of them, and yeah, we were up all night Tuesday night, reassuring each other, checking in with people and stuff. Now I'm up here in central Luzon. They said that we had some tremors here, but I was up. I didn't feel anything, didn't hear anything, so I'm far removed from it. But yeah, let me show you on the map where this happened. So every place within this next map felt the earthquake, and I mean we're talking everything shaking. I got a text at 10 p.m. No, I think it was 9:59, 10 p.m. whatever, from a friend of mine in Rojas City, where I was just last month, and their house was shaking, and the son, he took a video of the chandelier shaking, and it eventually broke, quit working. Voila! And there were some cracks in their house. Now, that's Rojas City, so you look on this map, stop the video if you want, so you can kind of scan around, look at it. You see that everything within this map felt the pain. I've got a lot of friends in the Visayas area. In fact, I was assessing the other day. The majority of my friends are in Visayas. A good percentage are centered around Dumaguete. Uh, I'm not going to call out names. They're my friends. Yeah, they're vloggers also. But one is all the way down the southern tip of Negros Oriental. That's how they pronounce it. And Occidental. Now there's Negros Occidental and Negros Oriental. They're all on the same island. But anyway, he's at the very southern tip, and they were shaking pretty good. He did a quick video clip and put it up on his Facebook, and you can see the door moving like that. So that's a long way away. This was a shallow earthquake, and yeah, it was shook a lot of people up, pun intended. All right, so this map will give you another idea. So on the 22nd of September, we had a typhoon, Ragasa, the largest storm on the planet this year. It was massive. and it affected a lot of areas. I mean, there were fatalities in the northern tip of the Philippines and Taiwan, and this thing hit both Philippines and Taiwan at the same time. Thing shot up through the Luzon Strait, and it dumped a lot of rain here, and it was windy. Now, we don't normally get typhoon effects here. If we get wind, it's a gentle breeze, probably not more than 10 miles an hour. But when things are blowing really hard, yeah, that's a pretty big storm. And it cut up over the top of Luzon and headed hit Hong Kong. It hit Hainan Island, hit Saigon. Oh, poor people in Saigon. Man, I'll tell you, that's one place I would not want to live. Not that I have anything against Vietnamese people or anything, but that seems to be the storm magnet this year. So here, I'll roll these in. It was really bizarre. We are far enough away, but as the storm rotates around it, it has arms that radiate out from it. And those arms come swinging around here, and they're packing a pretty good punch in themselves. So, yeah, that's what the next few clips are. I've got a little breeze going, but it's not bad. Breeze blowing out of the east, so that's weird because this is the southwest. That's where we normally get everything, so it's probably coming from the northeast. That's where the typhoon is. But, that's looking south towards Manila. And this is looking towards, well, Subic could be over this way. This is the head of Manila Bay, where Guagua is. The wind is really whipping. My power is out. Pretty sure that this wind is blowing over a power line or something with all the rain we've had. And this rain right now is coming sideways because of this wind. All the after effects of a typhoon that's 200 miles away. I think it's named the largest storm this year in the world. It was a big girl. Yeah, look at that wind. Probably, it woke me up, and it was probably blowing a lot stronger than this. But it comes in waves, and when it picks up here in a few minutes, it will really pick up. Typhoons, so fun. If you don't like what the weather's doing, just wait a few minutes. It will change. So I woke up this morning, wind blowing hard, raining. Then we had about 4 hours of beautiful weather. Now it's raining again. The wind's not blowing. Oh boy, the humidity is spiking. If you don't like what the weather's doing, just wait a few minutes. It will change. I'll be glad when this typhoon is gone. Nando, I can't remember what JMA called it, but Philippines called it Nando. They said it was the largest storm on the planet this year. It was a big one, but it did a lot of damage up north. And Taiwan got hit. And both the Philippines and Taiwan got hit at the same time. Those about 200, 250 miles apart from each other. And this thing shot the gap, the Luzon Strait, right up through the middle. And it nailed both at the same time. And it's headed right for Hong Kong. And then it's going to go to Saigon, Hainan Island. Yeah, it's not done yet. Hopefully, we're going to have some dry weather again. I'm getting tired of this. So in between Ragasa, the typhoon, the Cat 5 typhoon that cut up through the Luzon Strait in the northern tip of Luzon and hit Taiwan at the same time, then Hong Kong, then Hainan Island, then Saigon. Hey, oh, that thing was big. It was massive. Like I said, it was the largest storm this year on the planet Earth. Anywhere. Yeah, we got it. Okay, do we get a blue ribbon? And then we had like 4 days from the 22nd to the 26th. before Opong. That's the next typhoon. It came up through the center of Visayas. That's because the high pressure ridge that's usually up around Japan and China, it's been gradually moving down. It does that this time of the year. Eventually, it'll be down right on the northern tip of Luzon, which will force all of these storms that are coming to the central and southern part of the Philippines. So Visayas, Mindanao, they'll be getting their rainy season now. But Opong was coming and it was tracking for Bicol and Manila, and we thought, okay, batten down the hatches, we're going to get wet. But I had misread the high pressure ridge moving south, and it forced the Opong to make a left turn, and it went straight through the middle of Visayas and up through Mindoro Island, which is just south of Luzon. And guess where it went? Hainan Island and Saigon. Those poor people, man. They've had, I don't know, this like 12 storms, major storms that they've had this year. And guess what? There's another one coming. But I'll talk about that in a minute. So in between the two typhoons, because Opong was only a Cat 1, but it's still a typhoon, still carry damaging winds. In fact, Masbate Island still has no power. That's in Visayas. And I decided to do some baking. Okay, baking with Jerry. Back to making bread. Let's see if we can get this recipe to work a little better than the other ones. So I got it on speed 2. Got a little flour in there. Had it up on speed too high. Flung it out. Okay, let's see if we can get this out of stick here. It has risen. When I put it in, it was way down here. I think I got enough yeast this time. Now we're going to roll it out. I got to cut it in half, put it in my bread pans, then let it rise for another hour. Bread making. So punch the dough down, cut it in half with my cutter over there, and then roll them out. And then I rolled up each of the rectangular pieces, put it in here. In an hour, this should be rising. So in about a half hour, I turn my oven on. See if this bread turns out better. This is a different recipe. It's the recipe that I got when I got the bread maker. So it's got a bunch of different recipes in here and stuff. So see, KitchenAid. And yeah, just follow the recipe. The other recipes I wasn't too happy with. So there's actually another recipe I want to try too. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow. It's a cold recipe. Cold rise, that's what it says. You put it in the fridge for several hours and after you make the dough, and then you bake it. I might try that. Let's see how that works. All right, let's see how this turns out. Yeah, I had that in there just a little longer than I should have. About 5 minutes. A little bit too done. Oh well, you live and you learn. One thing about baking is if the end product is still good, then it's good. Well, since this cools off a few minutes, I'll cut off a couple slices and see how the bread turned out. Different recipe, so each recipe is a little different. Once you find the recipe that works for you, then stick with it. All right, another day baking with Jerry. So this new one, it's coming in. I think it's Paolo, 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 whatever. I don't name the ones, okay? I'm just the observer. It's tracking right now to hit north of me, but south of the northern tip of Luzon. So it's going to be in between northern and central Luzon. We'll probably get wet. Right now it's a tropical storm. It is predicted to go typhoon by tomorrow morning as it makes landfall. It'll probably fall apart, and because as soon as it hits the mountains, it'll probably fall apart. But once it clears the Philippines, clears Luzon and gets out into the West Philippine Sea, formerly known as the South China Sea, just like the Gulf of Mexico is now the Gulf of America. You call it body of water, whatever you want, right? It will head right straight. Guess where? Hainan Island and Saigon. Hey, oh, I'm telling you. All right, so I'll show the tracking on this, and I'll be right back. So we are in the transition right now. Usually towards the end of September, first part of October, we transition from the Habagat. I've talked about that all through the season. That's a southwest monsoon. The warm air comes up by close to the equator, Indian Ocean and stuff, and it's full of warmth and moisture and things, and it just heads our way right through where I live, in the middle of Pampanga. And we deal with the Habagat from June until October. But Pagasa, the Philippine weather agency, just declared, flip a switch, I declare. They declared that the Habagat is over with. Hallelujah. Thank you, Pagasa. Why didn't you do this a month ago, right? Oh, I'm sorry. They had to let us have more fun because it's more fun in the Philippines. So we transition now to what's called the Amihan, and that is the northeast air, and it's drier and cooler. Yes, please, cooler. Today, right now, it's 32 Celsius, about what, 91 and a half, 92 degrees. Tomorrow, it's going to be 27, 80, 88 degrees, something like that, 89 degrees. Yeah, whatever. But then we have that storm coming in from offshore, and it's going, as it circles around, it's going to pull cool air ahead of it and swipe it down our way. And then as it goes through, then we'll get the rain and the wind and things. It won't be too far away. It'll probably be less than 100 miles away from us this time. So the Amihan now starts. And that's also triggered by the high pressure ridge that I always talk about. It's usually hanging out somewhere by Japan and China. It starts moving farther south, and it drives the storms farther south. So this might be the last typhoon that we have on Luzon, and from here on out, Visayas and Mindanao will get them. So stay tuned. We'll see. I'm kind of an amateur meteorologist, in case you couldn't figure that out. Meteorology is something that fascinated me since the 80s. At one point in my life, I had a private pilot's license, and you better know some meteorology if you're going to fly a little plane that only weighs 1,500 pounds, right? Because a couple of birds flying by and the wind off of those rock your wings. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here, try and get some things done outside before the next storm. Paolo or whatever it's called. Like I said, I don't name them. Somebody else that has all kinds of PhD stuff after their name, and they're the ones that name this stuff. So I hope everybody's good. Say some prayers for Central Visayas. That was a pretty devastating earthquake. And my heart goes out to all these people. Saw the story of this dog that just kept pacing back and forth in front of this collapsed house that somebody had built right on a hillside, right into the hillside. It's one of these informal houses, whatever scraps you can put together. I mean, people got to live somehow. But it was right into a hillside. No engineer had ever come in and say, yeah, this is a safe place. So when the earthquake hit, and they had just had Opong, the typhoon, just a few days before that. So the ground is saturated, and then it started raining about the same time the earthquake hit. So that whole hillside fell, took that house out. The dog had escaped, and it just kept wandering back and forth in front of the house. The elderly lady that lived in that house, unfortunately, she didn't survive, and the dog couldn't understand why why its owner wasn't coming out to take care of it. And that was heartbreaking. There's so many heartbreaking stories that go on here every time we have a tragedy like this. Even Opong, when it went through, it unalived a bunch of people on Masbate Island. Um, they caught the brunt of it, and it's bad. My friends in Rojas, they're saying, "Gee, first we get typhoon, now we get the earthquake." I told them, I said, "Well, your typhoons aren't over with yet. You've got more to go. Your rainy season's just gearing up." So, all right, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I've rambled long enough. Hope you all are doing good. Prayers for the Philippines. I love you all. Stay tuned.